here we are with a table all set for 4. It can be set for 6. It can also be set for 8. And I'll show you how. What you can do is move these place settings more to each side, and then you can absolutely have one more here in the middle. And again, if you do not have the same placemats, there's nothing wrong with putting different kinds. It makes it kind of fun and eclectic. And so let me just walk you through what has happened. And I wanted to say that I started with the tablecloth and I was very happy. I wasn't sure if it was going to be long enough. However, even if it isn't long enough and a little bit is showing, again, putting something like a placemat would be fine. So, don't worry about those little details that it doesn't completely cover. No one's not going to even notice that. The second what I did is I put down this beautiful cloth here. Now this cloth here actually is not a runner. It is for the kitchen and it is just sort of a drying cloth. But I love the fabric and I thought, you know what? It's going to be a beautiful injection of color. And so that's kind of thinking outside of the box. And also this cost, I think it was something like $6. Secondly, what I did was I put down this beautiful metal tray here. And then what I did was, let me just move things around. I took this eucalyptus, and it's not real, and what I did is I just put it underneath the tray. And then I started playing around with what was sitting on each end. So I have the pumpkin, I have a little decor piece, which is the gold, and then a candle. And I did the same on the other side. I decided to put another pumpkin in the middle, and then I put together 2 little flower votives. And I just used the orange and the plum, and then I left the other green hydrangeas to go into that vase. Also what I did is I took each little corn and I placed it on a white napkin. And what I did is I doubled the napkin look where, can you see it over here? I took the paper napkin just for color, put it underneath, and then put a white on top. And so the continual look of this pattern comes here as well. I feel like it's probably a little bit challenging to see that. Let me just see if you can maybe kind of spot it over here. There you go. And then the other area that I want to talk about is the glassware. So I didn't really go with how it's supposed to be placed. I went more by feel, and so it's on this side over here, and then it's on this side over there, and so it's not consistent, but it really does make space. You can see each other, which is fantastic. And then I want to talk to you now about what didn't work and I thought was going to work. So the first thing, what is working that I for sure didn't think was going to work, was these candles. As soon as I brought them home and I brought them in this room, I said no. But there's a beautiful warm glow, and that actually is with the consistency of what all the colors are. So that's really beautiful. The other thing I didn't really realize about the flowers was that, again, in the coloring of the runner and the napkins, we've got the burgundies and the oranges and all that, and that is the color in the flowers. I want to say to you about the flowers is that the flowers were purchased at the grocery store. Now, when we're entertaining, time is one area, and then the other area is also financial commitment. So you can get some nice flowers at most grocery stores, not all of them. And so it's time efficient because you have to go in there to buy food. And then also it's wonderful because they are not only a florist, so their prices, I think they're pretty economical. It's not gonna look maybe as beautifully put together, but what I bought was 3 different kinds of flowers, and that deal at that grocery store was 3 for $20. And as you can see, I don't really need that much, which surprises me because of course I just, I love flowers. So I wanted to add that information. The other thing I wanted to tell you is that less is more. So I'm just gonna show you a couple things that I did and it just didn't feel right. I really love, I love everything I have. I love all the decors. So I had these candlesticks that I had put in, and it was just way too much. Now, maybe it doesn't look like that on film, but when you're walking in, this is taking over. These candlesticks are taking over, and it's not about the candlesticks. The candlesticks and the candles. It's about everything together, and so that was not working. So I took those away. And then the other thing is that, I'm gonna move the camera here a little bit, so you can see my little table that I have things. So I had this vase and I saw for sure this was gonna work over here, because my idea was to have the tall vase and then the pumpkin, and that didn't work at all. There was just a disconnect, and also the height wasn't working so well. So I put that in. The other thing I did was I started putting these little tea lights because I thought it'd be really pretty with a whole bunch of lights, and had that sitting here and over here, and then another one, 2 more on each side, and again it was way too much. And so I removed them. And I'm just letting you know these little things because what you do is play around, and that's like having fun. Now, there is an easier way to have fun when you're not under pressure. And so doing it the day before alleviates so much stress because then the tables are also done. What I'm not finished with is the cutlery, but that's okay. That's not going to take me a lot of time. And so that is kind of what I wanted to talk about in terms of the decor. I also want to really emphasize about having fun. You have invited everybody over because you enjoy it, and you are the main squeeze in terms of having put this beautiful connection of people together. So make sure you're not hanging out in the kitchen, you're hanging out here. Have a potluck. Maybe get the main food yourself and then have everybody bring something. You're allowed to be in charge of what they can bring. 3 vegetables, 2 carbs, maybe mashed potatoes and a rice or whatever. And you could say, okay, who's gonna bring the rice? Bring a big thing and a small thing. A small thing would be a gravy or cranberry sauce, butter, cream, all of that. So remember that. The key part is A, to have fun, and 2 is to start planning ahead of time. And even if you take 15 minutes every day to plan for this event, then it'll be much more of ease. And so when the day comes, again, it'll be great. And nothing is more beautiful than sitting around with loved ones. Another area that I wanted to talk to you about is people. And so you are going to have energies of different personalities coming in, and who knows how everyone's going to be feeling that day. And you might even be sitting across from somebody and not really happy of what you're hearing or whatnot. I have friends tell me this all the time because, again, me not having family at a young age just craves that. However, people who were used to having big families from a young age sometimes say, you know what, I need space from this. So just sit across the person and give them love and light. And it is theirs, it is not yours. Do not take it on you. make sure you have that energetic boundary and put that line in front of you so you're not taking on their things. And that is really important. And the other thing too is that when you are finished, you can do a really nice energy clearing in the space and in your home by just, removing, doing mindful sweeping and all of that. So, and the best thing about having celebrations such as Thanksgiving is that there is nothing about presents and gifts. It's just about family and good friends being together with good food. So from my table to yours, have a very lovely Thanksgiving.